What is your most interesting Navy story? So back in 2010 on a mighty little FFG we were on our third med cruise in the last 2 years and our female XO just kinda went off the deep end. We were in Oman during Ramadan, so that means no drinking out in town, so 3 days of beer on the pier. On the first night the XO got blitzed by like 7 p.m, and she got in the mood if you know what I mean. By 9 p.m. she had sexually assaulted 3 of our more fit junior sailors. The tamest was just ass grabbing and the worst was full on down the shirt into the shorts grabbing. STG2 later was crying in his rack saying it was like his grandma molesting him. XO was in her 50s at that time as she was a prior enlisted. Anyways, our 3MC later that night was feeling what she was putting down, and they proceed to make their way back on board, grab something from the chief's mess, make out in that little alcove outside the chief's mess and the galley, and get caught and videotaped by the bread cooks, cause guess what, only one door in and out of the galley. Later found out that the bread cook sent the video home to his wife. XO and 3MC make their way up to the XO cabin and a glorious night together. That is till the CO wakes them up the next morning. Both of them get 30 days restriction to the ship. XO also gets the start of an NCIS investigation at this time as well. Remember that video that got sent back stateside? Well, that thing turned to fire and spread faster than dry trees going up in Cali. It all accumulated during an FRG meeting when the 3MC's wife finally learned what happened. Let's just say 3MC spent the next 5 years on a ship cause he was beyond broke after she was done with him. So anyways, 30 days pass and we pull into Gaeta, Italy, and NCIS show up to do their stuff, which bad for the XO but good for us as our 3-day visit turns into 2 weeks. XO somehow talks her way into getting to go out into town, but she has to be escorted. Good old Jorg is about to have his world F at times ked, an hour into being escorted the XO has to use the restroom and is just gone. This dude waited an hour in the restaurant for her to come back before freaking out and spending the next 6 hours roaming the streets for her. Jorg comes back on board about 9 p.m. sobbing about how he can't find the XO and the CO is going to kill him. When some guys come back on board and ask the OOD why the XO was on a German oiler? So the CDO, MA1, and the Jorg head up the pier to the oiler to retrieve the XO. They get on the oiler and head to the OMS where the XO is yet again smashed. CDO tries to get her up and drag her out when she loses her shit, cussed them out, and told them to get the F at XK off. She is the XO and she is staying the night on the oiler. She stayed the night. NCIS meets her the next morning on the ship, and they are done with her shit. She is confined to the ship again and is going to be escorted off the ship by them tomorrow morning straight to the airport and back stateside. I get off the OD watch at 0400 and head up to the shop on the 02 level, leaving the door open so I can get cell service. So at 0500 here comes NCIS past the door and bang on the XO's door. They try to open it and she has it locked from the other side. She is yelling at them that she just got out of the shower and she isn't quite ready yet and to give her 30 minutes. NCIS is yelling back to get out now. They leave to go smoke about 20 minutes, they come back, start banging on the door, and the XO still won't open the door. Now NCIS is screaming at her that if she doesn't get the door open now they will cut it off the hinges. A bit after 0600 here comes HG1 walking past the shop door with a shit-eating grin on his face, and tells me this is about to be the best day of his life. Gets to the XO store, plugs in the torch, puts his gear on and proceeds to cut the hinges off the door. With a pull and a crash there goes the door. What was supposed to have been a quiet walk-off is now gone and NCIS is now pulling and dragging a kicking XO off the ship as she is screaming she is the XO and she isn't leaving. Icing on the cake, they missed their flight. Anyway, she got back stateside and got forced retired out.